Welcome everyone. We are going to be talking about Overlines and Estimate View reporting magic today. Our host today is Josh Walker, and he is going to walk us through these items in Estimator. Josh, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your time on this Friday morning. So just as Julie said, we're going to go through Overlines inside of Estimator and then how those work with our new Excel reporting. So as we're looking at items here, we have an estimate. Here we're going to go into a smaller section of our estimate using our filter tree just to make our example a little bit easier for our time together today. So the first thing that we're going to do is, as we look at our line items here, we have our unit cost and our aggregate cost column out. Unit cost being the total of our labor, materials, sub equipment, and other cost categories, and our aggregate is that unit times our quantity. As we think of Excel reporting, there's a couple columns that we'll want to introduce, and you may already be familiar with. So that's going to be the burden total cost and the burdened unit cost. So as we think of reporting, these would be the values that you would see in your reports if you were to go select on reports and run one today. So it's going to be our true direct costs, which we see in our unit cost columns, plus any distributed fees. So for example, we went to our fee table and we chose to run, we'll say, hey, for this example, we're going to have a contingency in Division 9. We went in and ran a fee off of Division 9. And then the key will be that we're going to distribute this fee back over Division 9. And for those of you that may be new to the program, when we distribute a fee, we're telling the program for reporting purposes, we want this reported as a direct cost. So we calculated off Division 9, we're going to spread it back over. So we have our 10%. So as we go back and look, now our burden unit cost is that true direct cost plus that 10%. Then our burden total also carries that additional 10% as well. So when we're running our Excel reports, most likely we're going to want to use our burden totals. Also, there are burden total, unit, and total cost columns for each of the 5 cost categories. So as we go back and start to set up for an Excel report, we're going to bring out a couple of columns. So as we think of overline totals inside of the program, WBS properties, so we'll use master format 1 and 2 for our example today, can be set up as columns, or we can drag them up to the top and start to create kind of an overline view of our estimate. So here, as we're looking at our overline, a lot of our clients like to have overline totals. So to do that, we're going to go have our light blue bar here. We're going to select sum under the quantity, burden totaled, and also on our unit cost. So as we look at this, there's a couple different ways that we can get quantities in our overline rows. First, we could go in, select a unit of measure, and the program will sum all that, and we'll see our cost versus that total. Also, here we probably don't want our sum of months. We may just want to see 10 months. So we can click, say contribute to quantity, and now we'll see our general conditions just versus the duration of our schedule. As we continue to work down, so we look at concrete, we could look at it, by our total building area. Total building area in this example is a project property coming from our project tab, so we can bring those in as well. As we work down, for example, to cast in place concrete, we just wanted to sum the cubic yardage of our PSI items, we can do that. And we'll see that total come up to the top. And now we're looking at our price per cubic yard. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go run one of our Excel reports from our estimate view. We're going to run it on the entire estimate, but your estimate view reports will answer to your filter tree, meaning that if you had just selected on Division 9, you would just have a report off of your Division 9 totals. So to run a report, what we're going to do is we're going to select the From Estimate View. We'll have Formatted Reports. We'll run our Level 2 report here. As we run this, it will take approximately 30 to 40 seconds to run your Excel report. We're going to go over the templates here in just a moment on how you can create these reports and also how you can brand those reports to your company. As we think of branding and creating these Excel reports, we do have training inside of the Destiny training portal on that, so we'll wrap up on where we can find that training. The reports that we generate from the estimate view are going to contain every line item inside of our estimate. So this will give all of our line item detail. And as we think of what columns will be available to us inside of the report, it will be all the columns that we had inside of our estimate view. So now we have our branded report inside of Excel. As we start to look at our page layouts, we can have logos in the header. I had one a little too wide. We can move things back. All our report now nicely fits on one page. We can have print view saved here, so we can easily print the reports we've had here. As we think of how do we create these reports, how do we brand them, we'll have a styles page that will control the formatting and how information appears when you run your Excel report. That and more will be covered in your lesson on the Destiny training portal. So if you haven't been here before, it's the Destiny training portal. We host this inside of Lessonly. As we go in, if we were to search for Excel, we have lessons on how to build your own Excel report, how to make any modifications that you would like. Julie, that does it for what I was planning to cover this morning. I'm happy to open things up for questions.
Awesome. If the audience does have questions, please put it in the question section of GoToWebinar and I will make sure that they get answered. We do have a question that came in. You may have gone a little bit fast, Josh. Someone was asking, can you show the column chooser again? I know that you kept bringing those up and they wanted to see how they actually do that in their own instance of Estimator.
Sure. So to bring it, I apologize for going a little quickly there. We right click on any of our dark blue headers here, which is item number description. And about halfway down our list, there is the show column chooser button. And then as we look at that, that will have all of the columns that are available to us inside of Estimator. If we want to bring a column out, there's a couple ways that we can do that. You can either click on the little checkbox and it will bring that column out for you. So we now have our aggregate cost column, or you can left click and hold and drag to wherever you would like that column to be.
Awesome. That's all the questions that we have. If you do have questions even after today, please reach out to Beck Tech. We'll make sure that they get answered. And oh, I think I have one come in. Hold on one second. Does the overline unit of measure populate in the Excel report? It didn't look like it from the example.
So as we look, our overline totals. So we have the 10 that we selected. Also, when we had gone down, we had our selected total here with our cost. So yes, the overline, I just didn't change all of them. So we had changed our 10 months in our example for our general conditions. We'd also changed our cubic yardage and our total building area.